My name is Duro. I'm just me. Chicago, Illinois, Southside. 1967. I'm old as hell. My father was Miles Davis and John Coltrane. My mother was Nina Simone and Anita Ward, Ring My Bell. So it was in between that, that's where it came from. That's a tough one. Of course, it was, that's a hard one, because it was a bunch, but they're all kind of jumbled up. Let me say it like this. My whole thing was anti-house. When I grew up, everyone was house music. That's Chicago, that's the 80s, that's the way it was. I just didn't want to be in the mix. I didn't want to be a follower like them, so I sought out other things, whatever it was, which led me to Herb Kent New Wave Punk out. Legendary gentleman, legendary show, but he was playing European versions of what house people were listening to, like Trans Europe Express. He introduced us to Tackhead and Adrian Sherwood. Found out Tackhead was the house band to Sugar Hill Records. Went and did the history on Sugar Hill Records, learned about them. We found out about Malcolm McLaren with the Supreme Team. Loved it. It blew my mind. And from then on, it was just whatever it was is what it was. First, there was HBK with Patrick Moxley and Ken Whitaker. First hip hop show, that was in the 80s. I met those dudes, that was dope. Patrick Moxley ended up moving to New York and was part of Empire, which is Gangstar, and Premier and all those dudes, that was him. So that's like, even though that's pure New York, that was some Chicago flavor in the background. From there, I'm kind of blurry, but my adventure was more localized. I was listening to the music, feeling like that's what I wanted to try and do. Didn't really know anybody, so I brought my friends together who really weren't as into it as me, but they was down to be down. So we did our thing, and then I ended up bumping into Julian and Rob at a party, which led to us recording at the Art Institute for a while. And then I went out and had met a cat. I met these young cats on chance from the West Side. It was Juba, Regnock, Mr. Greenweeds, used to all run together. There was somebody else, Cat Kool-Aid, Kirk, who, just for the record, so you know, is a musical genius. Regnock is a design genius. Juba is just, his mind, we used to call him the trivia master. He just holds so much information. These cats were something else. Like, I had never met anyone like them, you know what I'm saying? So, hooked up with them. Juba and I ended up starting a group, He Who Walks Three Ways. We added Lori, female DJ, Rapture. My guy Continuity used to back us up, and the problem was we had a group, and we were getting music from here and there and trying to do things with people we knew, but we didn't have anything to do with it, nowhere to go. So that's when Big Lip Productions started. Now, when we started Big Lip, that was for our little circle, which was small, really. You know, it was really us and Kinetic Water and whoever else just happened to stumble on it. But at the same time, you had P. Lee Fresh doing things. You had Black Fist, PJ doing things. You had the Ill State Assassins doing their thing at Blue Gargoyle, if I remember correctly. So they had their little circles, and we had our little circle, but no one really knew each other. You know what I'm saying? So it was little and contained at that time, but it was all over. Big Lip started at Lizard Lounge first. We do about maybe 20, 30 people on a Sunday night. It was the $1 Sunday hip hop show. Slowly you start noticing new cats coming around. Oh, hey, that's when we met Tone Be Nimble, from the south suburbs. Tone came in, and Tone used to always like, wait till y'all hear my MC. He in school now, wait till y'all hear mine. That was Capital D. Tone brought with him, man, I'm gonna try to get people's names, and I know I'm gonna forget, but he brought with him Steady Serve, a legend. With Discover, my man Chris, who's doing things still right now with, Chris, I'm sorry, I cannot remember the name of your station because I'm just old like that. Swank Radio, Swank Society Radio, that's Chris right now. So those brothers started coming in, then we met, like you said, O-Type Star. And that went on for a couple months until it was just too black for the club and they let us go. I got a call from Blackfist. He said, hey, I got this little spot. You might want to check out. The lady's real nice who owns it. She does like poetry and small bands, is in the basement. You might be able to do your thing there. I met with Lee. Lee was wonderful. She let us come do our thing. It became the $3 Sunday hip hop show. And that was just the start of pretty much just history right there. As far as my history, you know what I'm saying? No, as far as Chicago history, that was it right there. Because once we hit Lower Links, we grew a little, and I'm gonna tell you, I met this one brother, Fear. I was working at my uncle's little record shop on 79th Street. Fear came in. I said, man, you gotta come check me out at Lower Links. He said, cool. After Fear came, the crowd grew exponentially every time because he would go out and tell everyone he met, everyone he knew, and they came. Woo! Fear set it off for me. It was basically whoever showed up. I based it on poetry open mics. Whoever showed up, signed the list, got to perform one song. You could bring your own music. We had a drummer, Yusef. We had Lori on the wheels of steel. Later, Lori was joined by this 17-year-old cat that I seen on BET, 33 and a third, which was wild. That I met him from TV first, even though he lived down the street from where I grew up. Or you brought your own music, instrumentals, or you had the drummer go and people did a song. A few people would do a song that would catch on. They come back and do it again the next week, and they were starting like one of the most famous was Spaghetti and Biscuits by the Spillanes. Everybody loved that song. That's pretty much, it was just, that was it. You know, we partied for a little in the beginning. We started the show. We ran the show basically to the end of the night. You know, just going through the list of everyone who signed up. You know, from like I said, O-Type Star, the God Squad, 10 Trey would come down, Spillanes, the Children of Reality, trying to think who else. Children of Reality, Steve's group, the Nappy Heads, not the one that came out later, the original Nappy Heads, and Mad Unit. The list goes on. I know I'm missing names. Blackfist. And Blackfist was funny because he would always have he went on one time with his A group and they was gangster and that didn't really work. So in the middle of his set, he like kicked all of them off stage and brought up his B group and they were more like reggae dance hall. It was just a crazy, crazy time because anything went and then for the most part, it was all peaceful. Peaceful. And on that note, big shout out to Cassius D. From the South Side, yes. I forget how I met Mike and Ray, but I believe it was at Lower Links. Lower Links was like a jump off for a lot of different things. I met them, and Mike and I, turned out our birthdays were like a few days apart, so we clicked right away. They were like, well, we're trying to start this thing, the Fly Paper, and I was like, look, I'm down. This is what I want to do. I did Ill Assassin. No disrespect to Ill State Assassins. It was just my like way to rant about what was going on in hip hop at the time, and No Problemo, which I was just listening to people's demos and giving my word on them, you know, because I would get demos all the time being at Lower Links. You know, people say, hey, check this out, or, you know, this is our new stuff, whatever. So just start writing about it because I wanted to contribute to what these two brothers were doing at the same time. Not enough, and yeah, not enough. But we did. I remember we went through our whole look. We was ahead of the time because we did. We was on technology, and that was gonna be our. We was gonna run with this like science fiction technology theme, Baby Jesus and IBM or something like that. We was and. That's when Cannibal came out, and that was the direction we were going in before it like kind of all dissolved. But look, I'll tell you, we worked with a cat named Chris Chitsanihai, who we went to high school with. And Chris was the first one to show us what sampling was all about and how to loop and layer. Then we worked with Doug Infinite for a while, who is like a legend. And I think that was, and then, you know what? We worked with John and we worked with Kanye. Kanye did a few beats for us back when he was 15 years old. We went to his mama's house and sat in the room with him, and he had it then, you know. So.